Hello and welcome to Ageless Rock. This presentation is part 2 of Sambisari Temple. It is a continuation of this mysterious site that no one wants to talk about. It will definitely open your mind to other possibilities with regard to megalithic monuments. Here is something that I find interesting. It surprisingly has a few things in common when compared to Pyramid of Feathered Serpent in Mexico, which is one of the 3 world-famous pyramids in Teotihuacan. The smallest pyramid is Pyramid of the Feathered Serpent. It is the least impressive compared to the Pyramid of the Sun and Pyramid of the Moon. Although the pyramid size is the smallest, the area is actually the largest, as you can see in the yellow box. This area is elevated and the pyramid is below the surrounding platform. That's why it is called the sunken citadel. If you look at Google Earth and see the elevation, there is a 6-meter drop. The pyramid is also about 6 meters below the sunken citadel. It is documented that Sambisari Temple is 6.5 meters below ground level, but let's find out through Google Earth anyway. The ground level shows 149 meters, while the temple sits on 143 meters level. That means Sambisari Temple and Pyramids of the Feathered Serpent are both appear to be about 6 meters below the surrounding area. In terms of concept, they are very much the same to me. It seems that the structure has to be below the surrounding area. You can have a choice of digging into the ground or build a platform around it. Why would ancient Javanese need a temple below the ground level when all they need is just built on top of the land? Look at the amount of soil removed during the 10 years of excavation. As you can see from the given dimensions, we are looking at 131,950 cubic meters of soil removed by Javanese so that they can have a temple below ground level. This is a mindless activity no matter how religious they were. I did a rough calculation from Google Maps just to have an idea of how big is the platform in terms of volume. It comes to about 530,000 cubic meters. That's an enormous amount to deal with if you have only ancient tools. If you look at the volume of material used just to have a platform around a pyramid or a temple below ground level, it would not make sense no matter how religious you are. Mesoamericans raise a platform about 4 times the volume of Sambisari Temple. Dug out is just a mindless activity when all they use in their daily lives was very much soft metal or stone tools. So, is it a coincidence that Sambisari Temple and Pyramid of the Feathered Serpent are both 6 meters below ground level? Is there something worth looking into from another perspective where it is not just a tomb, a palace, or a temple? Let's take a look at another similarity. Pyramid of the Feathered Serpent has 3 pyramids at the back. These 3 pyramids are not very noticeable and no one pays attention to it, but I think they played a significant role for whatever the purpose was when the unknown ancient builders constructed it. But if you compare that to Sambisari Temple, there might be a similarity. There are 3 Pewara temples. Could it be a coincidence that Sambisari Temple in Indonesia and Pyramid of the Feathered Serpent in Mexico are of the same architect? Sambisari Temple and Quetzalcoatl Temple are actually across the ocean and hardly seem like there's any connection. But when you see from another point of view, during the Ice Age, where Sundaland connected Southeast Asian countries, you probably can reach Mexico by land. 3 small pyramids near a big pyramid seems to be a common theme in ancient megalithic sites. Pyramids of Giza also has that. Menkaure's pyramid has a set of 3 small pyramids, which for now is believed to be Queen's Pyramid. But this is not true because Menkaure had only one wife. Also, there is no dead body to be found here. Well, how about Khufu's pyramid? Khufu's pyramid also has a set of 3 small pyramids concept. For now, we do not know anything about these small pyramids. It cannot be for the queen because the queen has her own chamber, below the king's chamber. But mainstream still tries to connect to the queen. I will not be surprised that the unknown ancient builders were traveling by land to get to these 3 locations. They don't have to cross the ocean to get the job done. You just need to see the planet from another perspective. You can actually see that getting from Indonesia to Mexico through the Bering Sea and still get transmission from Egypt is not a very far-fetched science fiction. Our GPS system needs 3 satellites to triangulate a location. Maybe this is a method of locating something in Siberia. Could this be a GPS system where UFO needs to find Earth on a certain day? If this can be expanded into a wider scope, I think it can be a good Hollywood movie. There is another thing that we still have no clue. There are 12 Umpa stones surrounding the main temple. No one knows what it is for. Archaeologists believe it could be for wooden pillars of a wooden roof. Batu Umpa is a normal thing to use for pillars of a structure, but it is typically a flat top or a hole for the pillar to go in. So the protrusion on the stone makes it hard to guess what ancient Javanese were trying to do. These Batu Umpa for wooden pillars will not make sense because those who created this temple were able to handle bedrock like dough, and nothing here is made of wood. Until now, this Batu Umpa around the temple is still a mystery, just like those around the Plaosan temple. But I think this is a mysterious protrusion you can find in many megalithic sites around the world. It can be very big or very small. They are very common on sarcophagus lids. No one seems to know what they are. So let's have a quick recap. What are the odds that Pyramid of the Feathered Serpent in Mexico, Khufu's and Menkauri's Pyramid in Egypt, and Sambisari Temple has 3 structures on the site? What are the odds that Sambisari Temple has protrusions just like those around the world? What are the odds that Sambisari Temple is 6.5 meters below ground level, just like Pyramid of the Feathered Serpent in Mexico, which I think is at 6 meters below the sunken citadel? What are the odds that Sambisari Temple has a hole in the center, just like pyramids around the world, where there is a hole or tunnel that seems to baffle scientists all the time? I think it is time to revisit Sambisari Temple from another perspective where anything is possible. There are 4 impossible coincidences arising from Sambisari Temple. It is impossible to solve the puzzle if we think only human is possible to achieve these impossible tasks. Well, I have come to the end of Sambisari Temple presentation. Hope you enjoyed this short presentation. Thank you for watching and see you next time. Sekian, terima kasih.